Hi y'all, this is Mattie from Mattie's Kitchen, and today I'll be making you all some delicious hamburger patty from scratch with gravy and other vegetables. And I also will be serving it with mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes and gravy. Okay, what I'll be using, I'll start with the meat. I'm using about 83% ground beef, and I got about 2 pounds. 2 pounds, and this probably make about 6 hamburger patties, 2 pounds. And I'll be using some onion, Lipton's what is this? A dip mix, onion dip mix. I'll be using that Lipton. And I'll also be using some brown gravy. This is for the gravy. Minced onions. And this is salt. And here's some pepper. And here's some, this is garlic powder. I might use garlic powder. And this is bouquet brownie for this gravy. Some carnation milk for the mashed potatoes. And this is Worcester sauces for I'm putting it with the ground beef. And I'll also be putting some green peppers, some onions. And now these are green onions. You'll be using some butter. And also, here's my potatoes. I cooked the potatoes off camera. They're soft. And when you can stick a knife, I told you on my other video, when you can stick a knife all the way through it, that means it's done. You got to do. And keep them kind of warm so when you get ready to peel them, it'll be easy for you. Now, here's the green onions. Here's the potato I mentioned. And here's the white onion. And here's the bell pepper. Those are ingredients I'll be using. Okay, I'm getting ready. The first thing I'm going to do is get my ground beef ready so I can put it in its skillet and fry it. I will be using, it doesn't matter what order you use it in, and these only to make it taste good. So I'll be putting a little brown gravy mix in it. You know, this is a cheap meal, and you should try to put, some things that are going to make it taste good. This is a hamburger. This is a little gravy. I'll be using that again. And I'm going to put a little sauce in Worcester sauce. You all know I can't pronounce it. So I'm going to put some of that in. Just go around it a little bit. You don't need a lot. Just maybe 2 or 3 squirts of it. So I'll be using a little minced garlic. Because, see, I didn't put no garlic in it. So I'll be using a little minced garlic, just a little bit. Go in here. See how I go around it? And I'll be putting some, or maybe a little garlic powder. Go around it, too. That's how I do. That's how I measure, you all. I told you I go around my food. And once I do that, most time I have enough. It works for me. But if it doesn't work for you, just... You don't need very much. And I put a little salt. And here's my pepper. Put a little pepper in here. This is going to be good. Make it good. Make it taste good because this is a cheap meal. And you want to make it cheap. The meat ain't that expensive. And it's kind of cheap. Kind of cheap. So I'm going to put a little, this Lipton recipe secret. That's what they call it. It is so good in your hamburgers. If you never tried it, please do. Okay, and I'll be using, here's my vegetables. I'll be putting a little green pepper in here. I'm trying to make this taste good, and I have it. It'll be real good. And see these green peppers, bell peppers? They're not green peppers, they're bell pepper, and it make them taste so good. And I'll be putting some onions in here. Some onions, okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this together. And these little, I'm going to set this aside. These little green onions, I'm going to chop them a little bit. They're kind of big. I'm going to chop them a little bit. And put some of these in here too. It's fine. Should have get it off camera, but I didn't know they was that big. So I just hit them a couple of times and get them. And I do my vegetables really small. You see how small those vegetables are? They're really small. And because I don't want to, you don't want to taste no big vegetables and meat sometimes. Certain meats you do, but maybe, some of it you do. I'll just put a little of this in here, get through with this. They kind of flying from the thing. Okay, I'm going to put a few of these in here. And get rid of this. Put a little few in here. And I'm going to get rid of this right here and start mixing it up. Okay, I'm going to take these clean glove, and just mix them up, all this together, to form your hamburger patties. And I'm going to look at it when I get through putting all this in and see how the season look in it. And then start again. I'm not going to put a lot of salt in it because I'm using the gravy packs and it got salt in it. And the Worcester sauce have a little salt in it too. And the brown gravy mix have a little salt in it. So I'm going to mix this again. Mix this up. Spread some more onions and green peppers. I'm going to spread these in here so I can make that taste come out good. Like I said, I go around my meat or vegetable, whatever I'm cooking, with the chopped vegetable. That's how I know I got enough. I don't have quite enough then. So I'm not going to put no green pepper, but I'm going to put a little minced garlic in here. See, when you're cooking, make sure first you season it. And then you look at it, you can kind of eyeball it and see if you need any more seasoning. That's what I do. I eyeball it, and I do that. Pepper. I'm going to put a little more ground gravy mix in it. And if you want to, you can taste your hamburger meat because people eat that raw in Germany. I saw a lot of them eating that raw, probably here too. And I got maybe a little bit of this. And I'm going to shape this together and form it. I'm going to mix all this together and I'm going to form it into hamburger patty and put it in the skillet. The skillet's kind of warming up now. Okay, I'm going to get back with you. Okay, what I'm doing now, I am getting ready to put this in the skillet. I'm going to shape them real good and make sure you shape them. You know how the size you want. This is just like a serving. Try to make it a serving size, you know, so you don't have to have two of them. You can have two if you, what is these? You might want 3 of these because these things be good. So I'm going to shape them like this and put them, that's a size for me. Because I, like that, I'm trying to get about 6 of them. I probably won't wind up getting about 5, but I'm going to try my best. And you see, I just make them the size you want. Don't make them the size I do them. Just make them the size that you want. I try to make stuff, when I'm cooking meat and stuff, I try to make it so you can only have 1 serving of it. You know, you don't need 2. Because most time when people eat 2, sometimes they waste it. So I try to make mine as big enough, you know, for 2. That's about the same size. I could have got a scoop and put them in there and did it like that. But I don't, honey, I'm like I say, I'm old fashioned. By the time I get the scoop and mess up the scoop and wash the scoop, I could have shaked it with my hand. Just got a handful of it and shaped it. So I'm going to finish shaping these off camera. Just make sure you shape them good and have them about the same size because you want them to look good. Okay, I shaped them like I said. I got 5 out of them, about 5. And have your skillet a little warm. When I had this oven on, the stove on a little warm, so but you know when you put them in there, they won't stick to the stove. To the skillet. I'm talking all kind of ways today. So that's frying. And while these frying, I'm gonna prepare my mashed potatoes. And I put a top on mine because I don't want it to dry out. You don't like dried out hamburger meat. You just want it to get done. And that's going good. And you don't want to dry. Just let them cook on each side because the gravy gonna cook them a little bit too. So you don't want to dry out. And I'm gonna cover these right here. I'm gonna cover them and let them just cook. Cut it down kind of low. Let all that juice stay in there. And what I'm getting ready to do now is start my mashed potatoes. See, here's my hamburger patties. They're cooked and they look so good. I'm gonna turn them over. And see, because you don't want, like I see how good that look, y'all. That looks good. You just want them. And the reason I cover them so they can stay juicy. Don't never cook, when you cooking hamburgers, stuff like that, make sure you cover it. See all that juice is in there? And you want it to stay in your meat because you don't want it to dry out. And I'm going to let them cook on this side a little bit too. That one got a little browner. And then I'm going to get that with you in just a minute though. I'm going to show you. Okay, I got them turned over. Have the stove. See, I'm going to cut it down just a little lower so they can steam and get done in the middle. Okay, now see my potatoes. I peeled them off camera. I peeled them off camera. This is so simple. I'm gonna get ready to make them in a few minutes while my hamburgers are cooking. So I want them both to be hot at the same time. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little milk. I'll put a little milk in here. I'm gonna show you that. I'll get back with you. Okay, I peeled my potatoes. And I'm smashing them up. And what I do with my mashed potatoes, because I know the mashed potatoes are going to get ready before the meat get ready. So what I do is I take and I pour a little milk in it, and I'm going to set it on the stove. Just a little. This is carnation milk, whole milk. You don't got to put water. It make potato taste so good. It tastes better than whole milk to me. So I'm going to put a little milk in here. And while I'm putting this in here now, I'm going to set this back on the stove. So my butter and I'm going to put a little pepper on here. And I put it on warm, covered it up so when I get ready to mash my butter, it's okay. See that pepper I'm putting in there? Can you see the pepper? That's the pepper. And I'm going to put some salt. Mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes is the easiest thing to make in the world. You can't get no, I mean, it's easy. Butter, milk, salt, and pepper. And that's all you should use. Don't use nothing else because you don't need it. Okay, now I'm going to mash these up. You can taste them. I'm going to mash them up, and I'm going to set them on the stove so they can stay warm. I'm going to put some butter in it so to stay warm. I want the butter to melt. Kind of butter been setting out, so I'm going to put about 2 sticks of butter in here. And that's not 2 sticks. It's 2/2. It's a stick of butter. And I'm going to set this on the stove so I'm going to cover it, set it on low so it can just stay, get the butter ready. And I'll be ready to mix this. I'm going to continue. Set this on the stove, like I say, and then I'm going to put a little bit more milk in it so I have enough milk. And let it stay warm. Put it on low. Stove on low. And I'm going to cover this up. And I'll get back with you. Okay, you all, my hamburger. See all that juice in there? And that means that they're juicy. See the juice coming out? And that's how you want them to look. You don't want, make sure you cover them. So I'm going to take and put this here. I don't know how I'm doing this. I don't feel like getting a spatula. Turn it over a little bit inside. You don't want too much. You don't want no blood. And although it's going to cook again with gravy about 10 minutes. So these are good. See how good they are? They're big. They're not flat. And I'm going to cover this up. Turn this again. Have this stove. And see, I'm going to fry my vegetable. And I'm going to make my gravy with this juice. Okay, this is a quick meal. Simple. But make sure you season it like I did. Season it really good. Okay. And normally, I'm going to pull some of this out for my, let me pull this out and I'll get back with you. Okay, you all, I'm ready to start sauteing my vegetables. Okay, I'm going to start. It don't matter how you start. I'm going to put a little green pepper in here, let it cook. I'm going to cut the stove up. But this is for my gravy. Make it taste good. I'm just doing this to make it taste. Put all these in here. They're going to kind of disappear. And here's some onions. That's all I'm going to put in here, green peppers and onions. And some of these, I'm going to put a little of these green onions in here too. So I'm going to let these kind of saute a little bit. And I'm getting ready to make my gravy. Finish with my mashed potatoes. Simple. Real simple meal. Okay, I'll get with you. Okay, here's my hamburger sitting over here. Y'all saw those. Now I'm getting ready to make my gravy. What I'm going to do is put a couple tablespoons in here and let it brown. Y'all know how to make gravy. I made it several times on my channel. So I'm going to put about 3 in here because I want enough gravy to cover these hamburger patties. So I'm going to stir this up and get this ready. Might be I'm so glad I got extra grease. I didn't throw it out so I can get a little bit over here from the meat because I need a little bit more. I put a little too much flour because you want the flour and the oil to equal. You have the same amount of flour. You have grease. That's what makes good gravy. That's how you make gravy. And I learned that when I learned how to make gravy when I was about 7 years or 8 years old. Easiest thing to make. Okay, so I'm going to put some water in here now. The water should be hot. Mine's kind of warm. It's okay. It just when it's not hot, it takes longer for it to cook. But that's okay. Let that mix it up. See, if it was hot, all this would have spread it out, but that's all right. Learn other ways, different ways to cook. Because sometimes you might make a mistake, mess up, but you always learn a different way. I'm going to let this get hot. And what I'm going to do is, I probably have to add a little bit more warm water to it. And I know I am going to have to. So what I'm getting ready to do is season this gravy up. I'm going to put a little Worcester sauce. Now, you all know I can't say that. I said I'm gonna put a little bit of that in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of brown gravy mix in there too. I should have put it with the flour, but I forgot, so I put it in. It ain't hurt. Put some of this in here, and I'm gonna put some brown in mix just to turn it brown. And it's tasteless. I don't think it have a taste. I didn't see it make food taste better, but it does give it a good color. So I put that much in it. You said it came out a little fast, but that's not right. So they're gonna turn it side dark and turn it pretty. You gonna add water, it's coming. See? Add some more water in here. I think I got everything. I'm gonna put some pepper in here. Cause you know I season, you remember I season my some more water. Like I said, gravy is the easiest thing to make. Once this gets through cooking, I'm gonna put my hamburgers in there for about, you don't want them in there long because like I said, you don't want to dry out. And I'm gonna get ready to make my mashed potatoes. Call it a meal. Tomorrow I'll be cooking, and like I said, if you like what I'm doing, make sure you subscribe. Bring some viewers in, get me some people to watch my videos, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And when I cook another video, when I do another video, you all will be the first to see it. So make sure if you like this. And also, once this gets finished, another one will pop up. One of my videos will pop up, and make sure you look at it. Okay, I'm gonna get this gravy together, add a little bit more water, and let it cook, and I'm gonna get back with you all. I wanted to taste, and when you all making gravy, remember, gravy will be very bland if you don't add salt in it. You have to add a little bit more salt than normal because it will be bland. I know if you made gravy before, you know that. Okay, I'm gonna put my hamburgers in here. Let these cook for about a few minutes so it can go into the meat. And I'll be ready to serve this. Okay, I'm gonna cover this up. I'm gonna put the gravy on top of it. I got the wrong thing, you know I need a spoon, but I'm gonna use this. Put the gravy on them and let them simmer for about a good 5 minutes, and they're ready because you don't want your hamburgers to dry out, like I say. So I'm gonna turn them over, set them aside, and let them simmer while I'm making my mashed potatoes. And I'll be ready to put this on a plate and sit down and enjoy. Okay, you all, I'm through. I got my potatoes a little. You ever taste potatoes and they got that little chunky potatoes in there? I didn't want to make completely mashed potatoes because with my hamburger meat, I like to taste my potatoes versus mashed potatoes. Okay, so how they look, y'all? Well, good. I'm gonna put a little pepper on here, and I don't need no more butter because I already did that. Put a little pepper on here, and maybe a little salt. Get ready to put this on a plate. See my hamburger? See over there how they cooking? They slow. I got to cut it up a little bit so they can get warm. Okay. Here's the finishing touch of my hamburger patties and my mashed potatoes. I made my mashed potato with a little chunk of potatoes in it, homemade. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And if you like what you see, when the next video pop up, make sure you tune into that one. You'll see some good cooking. This is so good. Hamburger meat, a cheap meal, but it's good. And here it is in the skillet over here. See how good that is? Oh, that's so good, y'all. That gravy. I wish you were here could taste it. Okay, then. Thank you for tuning in to Mattie's Kitchen. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share it with your friends and family. Thank you once again.